The legend of White Elephant of the Whispering Forest. The forest that spoke in secrets. Far beyond the last village road, where human footprints faded into moss and vines, lay the Whispering Forest. The forest never stayed quiet. The wind in the forest did not simply blow, it spoke. Trees creaked like old storytellers. And vines moved as if remembering ancient songs. It was a place so ancient that the trees themselves seemed alive. The leaves fall in patterns even when there was no wind. And the roots beneath the ground carried stories from one end of the forest to the other.
The forest was alive in ways few understood. Every creature knew one thing. Nothing important ever happened in the Whispering Forest without the forest knowing first. Each animal listened to the whispers of the forests. Whispers warned them of dangers of poachers, other animals, floods, and droughts, and of new births and rise and fall of great kings of forests. Herds of deer moved like flowing water. Monkeys ruled the treetops. Birds painted the sky with color. Lions controlled and laid rules the forest. Wolves controlled the outskirts. And deep within the forest, in the vast rolling grassland, lived the great elephant herd, the strongest and wisest animals of all, ensuring order and peace. Leading the herd was Malini, a powerful elephant matriarch. Her ears were notched with age, her tusks were curved like crescent moons, her giant torso towered above others, and her eyes held the calm of someone who had seen many storms and survived them all. Malini did not rule with fear. She ruled with wisdom. She had learned to listen to the forest. She talked to the trees, and trees talked back. When danger came, she sensed it beforehand. When paths were unsafe, she knew from the whispers. She knew where sweet grass grew. She knew where clear water flowed. She remembered every dangerous ravine and every hidden hunter's trap. When she lifted her trunk, the herd obeyed. When she changed direction, no one questioned her. Malini was not the fastest or the strongest, but she was the wisest. The elephants trusted her completely. Everything was peaceful. But fate, as it often does, was preparing something extraordinary. A birth under a silent moon that changed everything. One day, Malini felt a strange pull toward the birth pool, a hidden clearing where elephants had given birth for generations. As dawn broke, a calf was born. A baby elephant lay on the soft forest floor. The baby was white. But the moment Malini looked at her child, her breath caught. Not pale, not light grey, pure glowing white, like moonlight resting on snow. The forest reacted instantly. Birds cried out, peacock danced, animals ran to see the newborn. White elephants were not just rare, they were legendary. Born once in many generations, symbols of fortune and power. Old stories whisper that a white elephant was a sign of great change coming forest. Elephants gathered in awe, joy, and fear. Your life will not be easy, my child. She named him Eravat, meaning a powerful white elephant who carries the deity Indra. The blessing and the curse. Within days, word spread across the forest. "White elephants bring fortune," said the parrots. "They're going to be lucky for us," said the deer. Animals came from far away just to glimpse the white calf. Some bowed in respect, some whispered prayers, others whispered fear. Old Turtle, who had lived longer than any other creature, warned Malini. "Great gifts attract great shadows and can sometimes bring misfortune. You should guard him from impending danger." Malini understood. She knew the greatest danger did not come from animals. It came from humans. White elephants were prized beyond measure. Kings, collectors, and criminals would do anything to own one. She doubled the guards, changed paths daily, moved only at night, removed the footprints of the herd. She trained young elephants to create false trails. The forest was vast, but secrets never stayed buried forever, and danger was already listening. Far beyond the forest edge lived humans in a village, and among them was Rangraj. A man who hunted not for food, but for money. The villagers who gathered wood inside the forest told Rangraj about the birth of White Elephant. Rangraj's eyes burnt with greed.
"A creature like that, are you sure? Could buy me a kingdom."
The hunter who feared nothing. Rangraj was no ordinary hunter. He had traversed forests, captured rare animals, and escaped prison twice. He believed fear was a weakness meant for others. When he told his crew about White Elephant, they warned him.
No, no! The Whispering Forest is dangerous. We will not go there. It is haunted. No, but the animals and mighty elephants are in shadows. Their matriarch is very clever.
Are you coward to say such things? No animal outsmarts a man.
The first trap. Rangraj and his poachers decided to capture the elephant. He dug pits in the ground and covered them with branches. One morning, as the herd crossed a familiar meadow, the ground collapsed. A young elephant fell into a hidden pit. Chaos erupted, but Malini stayed calm. She ordered the herd to form a circle. Remove the branches. Fill the pit with mud. And the small elephant crawled out. That night, Malini spoke to the herd. The hunters are close. They are watching, learning, waiting. Some elephants wanted to fight. Others wanted to move to safer grounds. But Malini chose a third path. She chose deception. She led the herd through muddy rivers to erase scents, moved through thorn forests to confuse tracks, sent smaller groups in different directions so that trackers would get confused. Airavat was so well hidden that there was no trace of him.
Weeks passed. Hunters watched the traps, waited, and slowly began to doubt. But Rangraj was not convinced.
The white elephant cannot vanish into thin air. Villagers have seen him.
He went deeper into the forest than any human before him in search of Airavat. A dangerous decision. Malini knew this was not going to be easy hiding Airavat. Hunters like Rangraj never stopped. He would pursue relentlessly till he found Airavat. So she made a decision that shocked others. I would separate from Airavat. Gasps echoed. How can you do that? He is special, but being special can be dangerous. Dangerous? Poonam asked. Malini nodded. Humans love rare things. They will try to catch him. But no mother leaves her child, cried one elephant. But Malini raised her trunk. A leader sometimes must, to ensure the well-being of everyone, she said softly. She went to meet Shaka, the head of lion in the vast grasslands. The lions honor the dead. Malini had come with Airavat, a 6-month-old, to meet Shaka to ask for a favor. Malini bowed her head and asked the lion to protect her son. Long ago, when Shaka was a cub, his pride was surrounded in River Valley by scores of hyenas threatening to kill all lion cubs and mothers. It was then Malini and her herd had charged at the hyenas and chased them away. Then head of pride Simba had sworn a debt to the elephant herd to be honored by generations to come. Shaka listened, then said,
The forest protects those who protect it, and I will give protection to your son.
You will be hidden in the deep stone caves, guarded by lions, watched by owls, and warned by monkeys. Your training will begin by lions. You will be trained on planning and strategy, stealth in approaching a kill. Crouching and hiding in grass. And charging forward at great speed. You will build your strength by moving rocks and logs every day. And you need to become very strong and intelligent. My herd had moved on, and we will be pretending you have gone. I will come for you once danger is over. The deception that saved a life. Weeks passed, then months. Rangraj and his people searched everywhere. Nothing. Frustrated, he regularly checked with nearby villagers. But nobody had seen White Elephant ever again, since first sightings months ago. His people questioned.
Does the white elephant really exist? Has any one of us seen it? We are wasting time and money for months searching on a rumor, and we have not found nothing but trees, mud, and mosquitoes.
As the interest of poachers faded, Rangraj, defeated, finally left the forest. Malini waited. Only when the forest grew quiet again did she return for her son, after almost 2 years. When she saw him, she gasped. She had left a child, but in front of her, was a fully grown elephant. Airavat struggled to blend in. Back in the herd, other young elephants feared him. Some admired him. Some avoided him. He felt different. "Why am I white and not like others?" he asked his mother. Malini answered honestly, "That is just skin color. But in turn, it also indicates that you were born to make a difference." But Airavat still felt lonely. But he did not have much free time, as Malini and other wolves trained him rigorously. He learned to listen to the forest, to feel vibrations by his trunk, to read the wind. To use his shoulder to shove hard and to use his trunk to lift heavier objects. He learned to fight by practicing with bull elephant. Trained by lions and then by elephants, he became faster, smarter, and stronger than any elephant his age. Unnoticed, destiny was shaping him. Airavat slowly but definitely started leading the group. The return of the hunter. Years passed. Airavat had grown into a huge elephant. Then Rangraj returned. Older, meaner, more desperate. He was not the same man as before. His face looked harder. His eyes burned with anger. Villagers had definitely seen Airavat and news had been conveyed to Rangraj. He carried more tools, more ropes, more traps. He brought more men, bigger weapons and rifles.
This time, nothing will stop me from getting that elephant and other animals too.
As soon as the scouts entered the forest, monkeys and birds conveyed their presence. And Airavat heard the whispers. He collected his herd and moved deep inside the wooded forest. Then he held the biggest meeting of animals that forest had ever seen. A new leader rises. Lions, bison, wildebeest, monkeys, wolves, tortoise, bear, deer, rabbits, all birds and elephants gathered for the conclave.
We have lived peacefully for years, but that is ending now. War is coming, and no animal will remain unaffected. Alone, we will be captured or be killed, but together, as one, we can defeat any number of human and their weapons.
But weapons can kill. How can we survive them?
Weapons are useless against stealth and surprise. We will use that to our advantage. Have you seen a stampede? It is very difficult to target one animal, and that is something we will use. So now I will tell you what you have to do, and God willing, human will never set foot again in Whispering Forest.
The war begins. That day, clouds covered the sky, and the forest was dark and felt heavy and very still. Rangraj entered the forest with his poachers. First thing he noticed was that the forest had changed. There was no path visible. Vines and shrubs were packed everywhere. Tall grass hid everything. Mist was surrounding the floor. It was eerie and very scary. Then an eagle screeched loudly. His cry reverberated through the forest.
Danger! Danger! That cry flew through the sky and through the trees. Parrots squawked loudly and passed the message from tree to tree. Soon, every animal knew the bad man has returned and war had begun.
Monkeys had assembled on trees in great numbers, and the first assault came from them. They climbed quietly above Rangraj's path. When the group walked below, thunk, thud, clack. Dry branches and stones fell from the treetop canopy. "Hey!" the men shouted, stumbling, shielding their head. But the rain of stones and branches was unstoppable. People below were getting injured, but they did not stop the rain of stones and fruits. One group would throw fruits and the other stones, and this went on continuously. The monkeys laughed softly from above, but stayed hidden. They never stayed in one place. They jumped, disappeared, and returned somewhere else. Rangraj felt surrounded, but could see no one. Fear slowly crept into his heart. Then thousands of bats attacked the men. Bats bit and clawed the face of men, and the poachers ran to escape them. Rangraj has a nasty bite from the bat. His friend tries to remove the bat. Rangraj cries in pain while other men watch uncomfortably. Rangraj is very worried. In his whole career, he had never seen something like this. 100 feet inside the forest, he and half his men were bitten. But before he could recover, came the sticky mud zone. Men are with difficulty moving through the slush. And as they were trudging through, came the stampede. Hundreds of wildebeest, bison and buffaloes charged at poachers, trampling many of them under their feet. It was a never-ending sea of animals passing through them, and they vanished in a flash, leaving behind broken bodies. In the dark of the forest, cries of men erupted.
This is a cursed and haunted forest. Why did you bring us here? The animals are out to kill us. Who do we shoot when no one is visible? Everything is in dark and shadows.
Before Rangraj could answer, came the deafening roar and growl of wolves and lions. It shook the core of every man. Even Rangraj was frightened now. He had not anticipated this kind of attack. He could see red eyes shining through the trees. And they were everywhere.
These are the sounds of lions and wolves. Quick, run away from here.
His men tried to run out of the forest, as shadows of wolves and lions chased them. Half falling and running, they stumbled out of forests. From behind Rangraj comes the white elephant, towering above him. He had never, ever seen such a big bull. The size of him scared him. Rangraj's hands trembled. Shiver ran up his spine as the mighty elephant growled and produced a loud trumpet. Airavat hit Rangraj and he toppled over and hits a tree. Airavat picked him in his trunk and threw him again. Rangraj, broken and thoroughly beaten, never came back again. A new leader rises. Order and peace again returned to forest. The herd met together in the grasslands, and the elephants raised their trunks to show acceptance of their new leader. White Elephant acknowledged it. From that day, the legend of Mighty Elephant grew. Stories of how humans were beaten inside the forest grew. People assumed the forest was haunted, and no human ever dared to venture inside the forest. The forest grew big and kept whispering to each animal.
Be kind to each other. Protect each other. Strength comes from unity. United, no enemy is too big.
If you like the video then, please subscribe and press the bell icon.